Imagine you're living 2,000 years ago. You're not mining for gold. You're not chasing silver. You're trading for salt. Not just a pinch, but blocks of it, worth its weight in gold. Entire cities rose and fell over this tiny white crystal. Wars were fought, empires built. But why? Why did salt, something we take for granted today, once decide the fate of kings and nations? This is the real story behind the most underestimated substance in history. And once you see the truth, you'll never look at your salt shaker the same way again. In ancient times, gold glittered, but salt preserved life. Without refrigeration, salt was the only way to store meat, fish, and vegetables. Salt allowed armies to survive during war and provided food to empires in peacetime. In fact, Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in salt. This is the origin of the word salary. Traders on the trans-Saharan trade routes would carry gold north and return with salt. Salt was essential for survival and power. Cities and empires grew around salt. Taghaza, a city in modern Mali, was built entirely of salt slabs. The Venetians became one of Europe's richest powers. They monopolized the salt trade. In China, the salt tax funded the Great Wall and imperial expansion. The salt roads of Europe, Africa, and Asia were just as vital as the Silk Roads. This trade shaped economies and civilizations. Salt also played a major role in politics. Salt taxes generated significant revenue in ancient and medieval economies. In France, the hated Gabelle salt tax helped spark the French Revolution. In India, Gandhi's iconic Salt March defied British colonial salt control. Salt was not just a commodity. It influenced revolutions and movements for change. Why is salt so important biologically? Humans can't live without sodium. It's vital for hydration, nerve function, and muscle contractions. Ancient diets often lacked sodium, especially inland, making salt a rare and necessary commodity. Even animals traveled miles to find natural salt licks. Salt was, quite literally, life. In many cultures, salt became currency. In Africa, salt bricks served as money. In Rome, salarium was the salt allowance, evolving into the modern word salary. In medieval Ethiopia, amole salt bars were legal tender. Salt mines were carefully guarded, similar to gold mines. Salt's influence on the modern world is undeniable. It funded military campaigns and infrastructure projects. The rise of canals and railroads was heavily influenced by salt transport. Salt shaped settlement patterns. Cities like Salzburg, literally Salt Castle, exist because of nearby salt mines. Modern borders and trade regulations were first applied to salt. Today, salt's role has changed. With refrigeration, its survival importance faded, but it became culinary gold. From Himalayan pink salt to gourmet sea salt, it's still revered. Salt is cheap now, but that doesn't erase its profound impact on history. Salt may no longer cost gold, but its story is richer than most precious metals. It preserved empires, sparked revolutions, and built economies, grain by grain. And while you sprinkle it on your next meal, remember, you're holding a piece of history in your hands. Did you know salt was once currency? Comment below if you learned something new, like this video. For more untold stories that shape the world, subscribe to Deep Dive Documentaries and join us weekly for our history dives.